betting brand for sports fans. That's Betr. Gamble responsibly.
Time now for James and Carlos to go head-to-head in the big call in what shapes up to be a belter of a weekend. Let's start with the Lakers, and the Hollywood Heroes are showing signs of a heartbeat. Well, it's a big test this weekend, Carlos, against the Bucks, but who wins this battle?
As bad as I want to pick LeBron James, I think he had a phenomenal outing this weekend in San Antonio. AD's playing more like the caliber of player that we'd like to see him do. The rest of the guys are doing a great job of molding around them. But I got the Bucks. I just think the Bucks with Giannis are going to be dominant. I feel like Giannis always looks forward to this matchup with Anthony Davis. And hopefully, at some point soon they'll get Chris Middleton back. But the rest of those guys, Drew Holiday's playing great. Bobby Portis is coming off the bench, averaging a double-double. He's one of the leaders in double-doubles this season off the bench in limited minutes, which is very impressive. And those guys are knocking down shots. I can't speak more about how underrated Brook Lopez is as a knockdown shooter and as a defender at the center position. So I got the Bucks.
So he's going with the Bucks. So you got Giannis versus LeBron. That's going to be huge. So you going with the Bucks?
I'm going to go with the Bucks as well, because I'll tell you what, this Lakers team feels a little bit like fool's gold at the moment. A couple of wins over the Spurs. They've just hit a bit of a nadir, I'll tell you that much, early in the season. And they drop a really, really tough game earlier this week as well to the Indiana Pacers, Dicko. I'm going to go with the Bucks. They're just proving to be like night in, night out. Defensively, unstoppable. This Lakers defense is actually sneakily better than you think. So I'd just also say maybe go the under. Just saying.
Next up, it's the Nuggets and the Hawks clash. James, there's some massive battles looming in this one.
I love this. Nuggets, Hawks, you've got the big men on the Hawks. You've got Onyeka Okongwu. We don't know, Clint Capella has had a bit of a question mark about him the last sort of week or so. But Joker is playing out of his skin at the moment. I love this for the one simple reason. It's Murray on Murray violence here, Dicko. We've got DeJounte Murray and we've got Jamal Murray. I love it when we get two Murrays at once. It's like you're in an outback pub somewhere. I love it. But either way, I think I'm going to have to go with Denver in this one. I think the combo of the big fellas over there on Atlanta should be able to slow down Joker just a little bit, but there's just too many wing options, I think, for Denver between my man Jam and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. I think they're probably a little bit too loaded for bear for Atlanta.
Carlos, Nuggets or the Hawks in this one?
Yeah, I agree. I like the Nuggets. I think Jokic, it doesn't matter who guards him. He can score, he can pass, he can rebound. He finds a way to have a huge imprint on every game he plays. I think Nuggets with Murray at the point guard being back, but Jokic in particular, his leadership will help Denver get over this one.
Carlos, let's finish Super Saturday with the 76ers and the Grizzlies. Will Ja and Joel be influencing the outcome in this one?
Yeah, I got Ja Morant on this one. I got Ja all day. Ja is must-see TV right now in the NBA, guys. I got the Grizzlies winning this game. No Embiid. I do like Maxey. No James Harden. I know Tobias has been putting up great numbers, and I'm a big Tobias Harris fan. But I'm an even bigger Ja Morant fan. I'm going with Ja Morant.
You've had Ja Morant as your MVP all the way.
Ja Morant's been my MVP from the start of this season, Dicko. I love him. Philly, I think, are at the moment, they're in that sort of 7-5 at home. Their home record's not great, but they have, as Carlos mentioned, been battling injuries to James Harden and Tyrese Maxey. They feel like they haven't been really full strength since the first week of the season. Memphis 5-6-ish on the road at the moment. I kind of actually don't mind Joel Embiid. I might have to go against Carlos and go with the home Sixers and just ride a bit of Joel Embiid. Hope for the best. Hope the big man dominates. We saw it earlier this week again. There might be a big 40-piece in it for him, and I think they can actually sneak over the line. I think there's just a little something with Embiid, and it's a really tough matchup for Memphis.
All right, well, we've got three big games on Sunday to finish it off. Let's start with the Kings and the Clippers. James, is it a matter of the Kings' offense versus the Clippers' defense?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. This Clippers team, look, God love them. They're trying so hard. They're a deep team. There's veterans everywhere, but without their top two dudes, right? And Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, it gets really, really tough for them to score at times. You've seen Norm Powell go off here and there. Lord Robert Covington doing his thing. But Reggie Jackson, John Wall, this combo, suddenly you're like, oh, are the Clippers' two best players John Wall and Ivica Zubac? What just happened? My God, here we are, and we're taking them we're going to go the Kings because the Kings are an absolute offensive juggernaut. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, the Souvlaki King, like he's incredible. They're playing out of their skin. Give me Sacramento all day. Fire that laser. Light the beam. They light the beam when they win the game, Dicko. It's awesome. It's the best thing in the NBA going right now. Fire that laser.
All right, Kings or Clippers for you, Carlos?
Yeah, I got the Kings too. This is their season right now. They're making moves. They made a big trade to get Sabonis, as you mentioned earlier. He's playing phenomenal. And the kid De'Aaron Fox is just a star. He's a star waiting to be a superstar. I think that team is an offensive juggernaut. They can score from the outside. They can score from the inside. They got a great post-up player, passer out of Sabonis. So I think they dismantle the Clippers, especially without Kawhi and Paul George.
Carlos, Trailblazers host the Jazz in their second game of the weekend. Who wins this one?
I got the Blazers, man. I hate to go against one of my old favorite teams in the Utah Jazz, but they've been going like this after the super hot start that they had. Their Trailblazers are on the rise. They lost a tough one the other night, but they're rolling. They're getting Dame back. They're getting healthier. They play well together, and their defense has been surprisingly good compared to last season. So Coach Chauncey Billups has those guys playing really well.
Do you agree? He's turned against his old team.
He has. You hate to see it. But I've got to agree with Carlos, though, because, like, the Blazers, as he mentioned, like, Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, like, talk about having a great backup plan if Dame goes out. Like, they've been able to lean on Simons. He's delivered. They look great. And, like, the Jazz, as soon as Mike Conley got injured, it's kind of just boosh, and off they go. So the matchups there, it's like Larry Markkinen, Colin Sexton, Jordan Jeremy Clarkson. That's what we call him, Jordan Jeremy Clarkson. And, like, it's still a fun matchup, though. This is the best part about this game. Blazers-Jazz should be really, really fun. And I might still have to go with the Blazers just because I kind of trust that team a little bit more without that steadying presence on the Jazz of Mike Conley.
All right, lastly, the Thunder and the Timberwolves. James, can you see Gobert dominating against a smaller Thunder team?
The Stifle Tower, Dicko. I love him. But without Karl Anthony Towns, he's out for, over a month here with like a weird calf injury, which looked pretty brutal, I'll tell you that much. They do have Anthony Edwards and Gobert. I am fascinated by what happens with this Wolves team. You take Cat out, we've seen all season so long that their defense has been unstoppable when Gobert's out there by himself. And when Gobert's off, the offense goes through the roof. What happens now? We're about to find out because it's going to be only Gobert. But you're right. This Gobert versus that smaller OKC team, it's going to be tough. I might have to actually go with the Wolves. I think Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, Gobert, they might be a little bit too good for OKC.
Are you sticking with James on this one, Carlos, or are you flipping?
I'm 100% with James. I think the Timberwolves with Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards is going to be outstanding. The Eiffel Tower, Gobert has been terrific, especially with having to pick up the slack of not having Cat there, Karl Anthony Towns. D'Angelo Russell has a lot to prove. So I just feel like this Wolves team, even though they're a little short-handed, missing the Karl Anthony Towns was such a dominant presence for them, they got enough pieces to take care of the Thunder.
Well, Carlos, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. All-star form once again. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That's us for today, James. But before we go, we do this every week because I just want to get where your eye is zeroing in for this weekend. What's the one thing you're looking out for?
I mentioned that Bucks game that, is definitely going to go under. But also, give me a multi this weekend, Dicko. I'd like Boston over Miami, Cleveland over Orlando, and Golden State over Chicago. I think we're going to lock that one in.
Oh, I love it. You just throw a little bit of gold out there at the end. Thanks for joining us on Fox Sports Lab NBA. Don't forget to subscribe below and follow us on socials. We'll see you for another massive show next week.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's Betr. Gamble responsibly.